Measure for Measure is a play by William Shakespeare, first performed in 1604. It is often categorized as one of Shakespeare's problem plays due to its shifting tone between comedy and tragedy. Written during the transition from his earlier comedies and histories to his later darker works, Measure for Measure blends serious moral questions with moments of levity and irony. Although it was originally classified as a comedy in the first folio of 1623, the play's somber themes and complex ethical dilemmas give it much in common with Shakespeare's tragedies. At its core, Measure for Measure examines justice, mercy, and hypocrisy, raising questions about how laws can be fairly enforced when all humans are vulnerable to temptation. Set in Vienna, the play opens with Duke Vincentio announcing his temporary departure from the city and appointing the strict and seemingly incorruptible Angelo to govern in his place. Angelo zealously enforces the city's moral laws, and soon has a young man named Claudio arrested for impregnating his fiancée, Juliet, before marriage, an offense punishable by death. Claudio's friend, Lucio, learns of his arrest from Mistress Overdone, a brothel owner, and decides to help. Lucio, who himself has impregnated a sex worker and refused to marry her, is far less virtuous than Claudio, yet it is Claudio who faces execution. On his way to prison, Claudio asks Lucio to find his sister, Isabella, a devout novice about to enter a convent, hoping she can plead with Angelo on his behalf. Lucio persuades Isabella to meet with Angelo, convinced that her eloquence and virtue might sway him. In her audience with Angelo, Isabella argues that all men are tempted by sin, and that mercy should temper justice. Angelo, however, becomes infatuated with Isabella's purity and offers a vile proposition. He will spare Claudio's life if she agrees to sleep with him. Isabella refuses, insisting that sacrificing her soul would not justify saving her brother's life. When she threatens to expose Angelo's corruption, he warns her that his reputation will shield him from any accusation. Unbeknownst to Angelo, Duke Vincentio has not actually left the city. Instead, he remains in disguise as a friar named Lodowick, observing the events unfold from the shadows. Duke Vincentio explains that he appointed Angelo to enforce the laws once again to avoid being seen as a tyrant, and that he is staying in disguise to observe the impact of Angelo's rule on Vienna. He advises Claudio to prepare for death with prayer and piety, but overhears Isabella telling her brother about Angelo's lecherous proposition. Realizing Angelo's hypocrisy, Vincentio, still in disguise, devises a plan to save Claudio and protect Isabella's virtue. He introduces Isabella to Mariana, a woman once betrothed to Angelo, whom he cruelly abandoned after she lost her dowry in a shipwreck. They hatch a plan involving the bed trick, a common plot device in Renaissance drama, where Isabella and Mariana will switch places in the dark, and Angelo will unknowingly sleep with Mariana instead of Isabella. Meanwhile, Vincentio arranges with the provost of the prison to substitute another criminal's head for Claudio's in Angelo's execution order, keeping the ruse from Isabella so she believes her brother is truly dead. Vincentio also has a conversation with Lucio, who disparages the Duke, calling him foolish, lecherous, and incompetent, unaware that he is speaking to the Duke himself in disguise. After Angelo sleeps with Mariana, thinking it's Isabella, he orders that Claudio's execution go forward. Isabella, enraged upon learning of Angelo's treachery, is advised by Vincentio to bide her time until the Duke's return and make a public accusation. Vincentio, still disguised as the friar, sends word that he will meet Angelo at the city gates upon his return. When Vincentio reappears, Isabella and Mariana expose Angelo's corruption. At first, Vincentio feigns disbelief, but he allows them to explain their side of the story and presents their testimony as evidence. He then returns to his Friar Lodowick disguise to further corroborate their claims. However, Lucio pulls off the hood, revealing the Duke's true identity. Faced with exposure, Angelo confesses his crimes and begs for execution. Mariana pleads for mercy, asking Vincentio to spare Angelo's life and allow him to reform as her husband. Isabella, despite believing Angelo was responsible for her brother's death, joins Mariana in asking for mercy. At last, Vincentio reveals that Claudio is alive and proposes marriage to Isabella. She does not answer his proposal. In the play's final moments, Lucio is punished for his slanderous remarks about the Duke and for his own moral failings. Vincentio forces Lucio to marry the woman he wronged, and then has him executed for his crimes. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this video, leave a like and subscribe.